Well, it's a good question about why I stay in Hong Kong now, because it's a very difficult place to be, and I think it has changed a lot, certainly since 1990. Not just because of the difficulties with COVID, but also the political situation here. A lot of things are changing, clearly. It was a wonderful place to be, great place to be in Hong Kong. Now, England only has 2 snake species, and Hong Kong has 43 land species of snake. Now, I'm not saying everyone should like snakes, but the biodiversity in Hong Kong is incredible. There's more, you can see more birds here in one day than you can see in England maybe in 10 years. And I must admit, the Hong Kong harbour is so beautiful. But then half an hour away, you can be in the jungles of Pok Phalam, Long Fu Shan, or up in Dai Mo Shan, or in Tai Po Khao, in some of the most amazing places, just beautiful places. So you've got the water, you've got the beaches, you've got the islands, you've got a wonderful city. For me, really, Hong Kong had it all, and I think there's still that desire to stay and keep that enthusiasm here. And what keeps me here now is really to begin to publish more books. And the storks, if we're lucky today, we can see the storks either from here, because sometimes they land on the roads here, or we can, if we're here, you'd really have to go up to there to see them, but it doesn't matter, we can try here.
So, we can go now?
Sure.
Robert 係一個喺香港住咗30年嘅瑞士人，過往曾經喺多間出版機構度工作。佢2年前開始喺網上面寫 blog， 同埋開咗個 Facebook page， 分享有關本土野生動物。今年4月更加自資出版咗一本屬於香港嘅野生圖鑑書。
There's a stork. Very difficult to see, and you've seen it straight away. Look at that. I think it was after I left full-time job in Reuters in 2018, and I went out a lot more to go and take pictures in the jungles and forests and hills of Hong Kong. But I've always loved nature. I think also the type of hiking that I do has changed. It's much more animal related now. I will go out and deliberately go out at night and look for snakes, or deliberately go out and just walk a lot slower, maybe looking at the underside of leaves, looking at where I see different signs for animals, and I will find many, many more. To be able to look through the viewfinder and have that real connection with not only with what the behaviour and what's happening, but also being able to take a record and a photo at that moment, that's a very, very special feeling.
為咗增加自己對動物嘅認知，佢開始認真咁樣去睇下書，去了解更多。但係佢就發現香港一直出版嘅圖鑑書，雖然資料詳盡，但係內容用字過於學術性同埋沉悶，整體就唔吸引一般嘅大眾去閱讀。
And what I did when I grew up on these little booklets. And they're fun, and you go out and you find it and you get points. It becomes more of a game and more of an education. And I think that's where I would like to try and fill that gap, to talk to people in a way which is a bit more like a layman, a bit more amusing, a bit more fun, a bit more anecdotal, a bit more like a friend going on a walk with you, and talking about the different animals. Sure. I mean, I think for me, the idea was always, I grew up on these little books, so the idea for me was to give back in a way to Hong Kong.
Robert 最初只係小試牛刀，印咗1000本，點知反應好到要加印，而家已經賣咗超過1800本。雖然就唔係啲乜嘢大數目，但係對佢嚟講已經係一個好鼓舞嘅事啦。
These are people sending me their pictures of just saying thank you very much, and there's a little kid reading the book. In his pajamas, and another kid reading the book. But even if it's one child, I think it's quite good. And that really, for me, is the key thing.
已經出咗版嘅英文版《香港野》第1期，當中就記錄咗超過80種本土可見嘅野生動物，包括咗雀鳥、昆蟲、爬蟲同埋哺乳類。當中數到 Robert 最中意嘅，都係一般人好難喺野外拍攝得到嘅本土豹貓。
I mean, I've seen leopard cats maybe 8 or 9 times in my life, normally just the end of a tail or the back hindquarters moving away or jumping down from a tree. Earlier this year, came face to face with a leopard cat who then ran away, and funnily enough then he came back, or she came back to look at me again, so I had a chance to take a photo. That's one of the very special moments for me, because it's one thing to go out and find animals, it's another thing to then actually be able to be lucky enough to spend a little bit of time and then be able to take a photo without disturbing its natural behavior and environment. It's just wonderful.
Robert 就揾咗朋友幫手翻譯，即將就會推出中文版，同埋希望未來就會出版更多本土指南，最終都係希望有更多人認識，以推動本土生態同埋環境保育。
I look back, and in 1997 maybe I'd be walking through the woods of Tycho Cow, and there'd be, I don't know, maybe I'd see 5 people the whole day. And I'd go, oh, I wish more people could come out and see Tycho Cow, it's so beautiful. And now when I go out to Tycho Cow, there's buses, loads of people, carts and dogs, lots of litter and people tramping around. And I go, oh, I wish there weren't so many people in Tycho Cow. But I have seen a huge difference. But I think they still view it with a certain amount of suspicion, because I see kids running over to a caterpillar and the granny's saying, don't touch, danger, danger. And I'm like, it's a caterpillar. But I think with the booklet, what I'm trying to do is show people on our doorstep that we have an amazing you've got these little bugs which are just so interesting, little jumping spiders. And of course, we've got leopard cats. We've got, interesting, we've got wild boar, we've got monkeys, we've got barking deer, we've got mongoose, we've got otters, we've got very, very interesting animals here. And I'd like to be able to help connect and educate more people to the wonders of our nature here in Hong Kong. And once people begin to connect to nature, then they begin to appreciate it, and they begin to love it, and then they'll protect it more and more. I did not know how successful or whatever it was going to be. I didn't know if I was going to lose money, make money, but if you factor in my time and the camera, it's not a career path, I can tell you that. But yeah, it's a passion project to share the photos and information.